Let us look at the least squares problem. The least squares problem was first considered by Carl Friedrich Gauss, who was a mathematician in the early 19th century. A famous incident that occurred in 1801 when Gauss was 25 years old was that a comet series was visible to Earth, and at some point the comet passed behind the sun. So for several days the comet was behind the sun and could not be seen. And then there was a famous competition among various researchers who were trying to all find out the exact spot from which the comet would emerge from behind the sun. In other words, the goal was to find the trajectory of the comet using the observations that were made so far before the comet had obscured. At the time, the only known method was to solve the Kepler's nonlinear equations of motion, and without any kind of computing tools, that was a very difficult task. Among all the predictions made, Gauss's prediction turned out to be the most accurate. He used the idea of curve fitting. In other words, he assumed that a certain trajectory of the comet and then found out all its parameters using a least squares kind of approach. So that was the incident that made Gauss famous and demonstrated the power of least squares. In fact, the reason why we call Gaussian noise as Gaussian is because of its link with least squares, which was discovered by Gauss. So let us look at the approximation problem in more detail. So the problem can be written as min over x norm of ax minus b. If you can also expand it and verify that this is indeed a convex optimization problem, and in fact a convex quadratic problem, because the objective function can be written as x transpose a x to b transpose ax plus b transpose b. So observe here that this is a quadratic objective function, and in fact the matrix here A transpose A is clearly positive semi-definite. In fact, any matrix of this form is always positive semi-definite. So how do we solve the least squares problem? There are several scenarios. So let's say that here x is in Rn and A is in Rm cross n. So then the first scenario is, so let's consider the first case, which is that B belongs to the range space of A. In other words, B is a linear combination of the columns of A. If B is a linear combination of the columns of A, then there exists, so this implies that there exists x such that Ax is equal to B. In which case, this implies that minimum of Ax minus B norm is equal to 0, right? Because there exists an x such that Ax is equal to B. So the norm, the minimum value the norm can take is 0. In this case, it does take the value 0. Okay, so this is one case when B belongs to range space of A. Let's consider a more interesting case, which is that B does not belong to the range space of A. So in this case, this is a quadratic objective function. We already know. So let's say that this loss function is denoted by L of x. Then we already know that the solution of this problem is given by x such that gradient of L of x is equal to 0. So this is equivalent to saying that 2 times A transpose A x is equal to 2 times A transpose B. Or in other words, x is equal to A transpose A inverse A transpose B. Of course, this is only valid when A transpose A is invertible. Right? So whenever A transpose A is invertible, then we can simply solve this equation and get this solution. Now, it is not necessary that A transpose A be invertible. right? So there can be A such that A transpose A is not invertible. So let's say a quick example is that, let's say that you have a matrix of this form. So in this case, A transpose A, you can verify that would be 3, 6, 6, 12. And here the first column, the second column is the 2 times the first column. So A transpose A is not invertible. And in fact, what is going on is that A transpose A times X is equal to A transpose B. This equation, right? This equation has no unique solution. This equation has no unique solution. So what do we do in this case? So because we are dealing with matrix in real space, let us do one thing that we know. Let us take the singular value decomposition. So I will provide one approach to solve this problem. So let's say that the singular value decomposition of A is given by U sigma V transpose. Then in that case, what is B minus AX norm square? So this is equal to norm square of B minus U sigma V transpose X norm square. Right? So now let us do one thing, which is that we denote V transpose X by X tilde. So we say that X tilde is equal to V transpose X. Note that equivalently X is equal to V times X tilde because V is orthogonal. So remember that V transpose V is equal to V times V transpose is equal to identity. And the same of course holds for U also. So U transpose and U transpose U are also identity. So this can be written as norm of B minus U sigma X tilde. Norm square of B minus U sigma X tilde. Now what can we say about U? Let us remember that, so let's look at this aside, which is that whenever you have U times any vector A, where U is an orthogonal matrix, then its norm is equal to norm of A. Why is that the case? Because if you take norm square, this will be equal to A transpose U A, which is equal to A transpose A. Right? So this is just an aside. I am hoping that all of you already know why this is the case. So by applying this idea, what we can do here is that we can multiply this thing with U transpose. So it does not matter because whatever term you have inside the norm, we can always multiply it by an orthogonal matrix from this property. So then we will get that this is equal to U transpose B norm square of U transpose B minus sigma times X tilde. Okay, so now let us call this thing as B tilde. So we have norm square of B tilde minus sigma times X tilde. Now what is sigma times X tilde? Remember that X tilde is a matrix in Rn. Sigma is a matrix in Rm cross n, and B tilde is a matrix in Rm. So what can this be written as? If you just expand it, you can see that you can write it as B1 tilde minus, so this is the norm of B1 tilde minus sigma 1 x1 tilde, B2 tilde minus sigma 2 x2 tilde, right? And this continues till BR minus sigma R XR tilde. What is R? R is the rank of A. And the other terms, there will also be more terms because B is m dimensional. So the other terms will simply be BR plus 1 tilde till BM tilde. So this will be this vector times norm square, or norm square of this vector. So the first R entries will have x1 tilde to xr tilde, and the last m minus r entries will not be dependent on x tilde at all. So if you expand this, you can see that you can write it as summation over I equal to 1 to r bi tilde minus I times xi tilde square plus summation over I equal to r plus 1 to m bi tilde square. Right, so whatever we started with, norm square of ax minus b, we have now written it in this form. Now if we wanted to minimize this with respect to x tilde, so by the way, we wanted to minimize the original equation or original objective function in terms of x. We can equivalently minimize it with respect to x tilde because this change of variables is 1 to 1. If you remember, we are allowed to have a 1 to 1 change of variables. So if we minimize this with respect to x tilde, we can see that we should pick xi tilde equal to bi tilde divided by sigma I. Note that sigma i's are all positive by definition for I equal to 1 to r. And then I don't care what I pick for xi tilde for I equal to r plus 1 to n. So for I equal to r plus 1 to n, x tilde can be arbitrary. So that is the solution. So here it does not matter what I pick. Here I should pick this in order to minimize. And by choosing different values of xi tilde here, I can see that my solution is not necessarily unique unless r is equal to n. So if r is less than n, then the solution can be written as x tilde equal to, or one of the solutions can be written as x tilde equal to sigma plus of b tilde. So sigma plus of b tilde is what? So I define sigma plus as a diagonal matrix or as a n cross m matrix whose ith entry is 1 by sigma I for I less than equal to r and 0 otherwise. So I take all the entries as 0 except wherever the singular values were non-zero, and I take inverse of those. So then x tilde is equal to this. Substituting b tilde and x tilde, we can see that x is equal to v sigma plus u transpose times b. So by the way, this thing is called the pseudo inverse of A. So if A is u sigma v transpose, its pseudo inverse is v sigma plus u transpose. So the pseudo inverse of A times B, so this is denoted as A plus times B. So this is a solution of the least squares problem. In case A transpose A is not invertible, then you can also find it like this.